So welcome you guys. I'm so excited to be here. My name is Eric Johnson. I'm the creator of Teamzy. And I know that, actually, I know a lot of you guys have already used Teamzy because I know you guys have been promoting it in the team, and I'm excited about that. So here's what I'm going to do with you tonight. I'm going to give you guys a lot of information, a lot of training tonight that you're going to be able to apply right now in your business. I put you all on mute, but if you feel the spirit move you and want to talk, just unmute. But I will answer questions at the end. I'll answer any questions you guys have. I'm going to take you through some training on relationship marketing, which is the system and the philosophy Teamzy is built on. That's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to take you through some of that, some of the principles and our approach. Then I will take you through setup in Teamzy. I know a lot of you guys have already done that, but you may have missed pieces of it. So I'll take you through, set it up, and then I'll show you the best workflows to crush a power hour. Okay? I'll take you through the whole process, how to start a conversation with a prospect, how to have that conversation, pull it through an invite, follow up like a pro all the way till they become a consultant on your team. Sound good? So even if you guys have been using Teamzy for a while, I guarantee you're going to go, oh my gosh, that's how? Oh, wow, that makes it so much better. So I'm going to give you guys some good stuff along the way. All right? And we are recording the call. So it may feel like I'm moving really fast and you're sipping water from a fire hose as we go. But again, I want to pack this time we have together full of content for you guys. Okay. All right, so let me go ahead and jump over to my presentation. Here we go. And this is the first thing I want to talk to you about, how to leverage relationship marketing to become a power hour boss. So two things you need to know off the bat about Teamzy. One, it's based on the power hour concept, the idea that all of your income activities can be done in an hour a day. This is huge because you guys are busy, right? You need to be able to leverage this time to be efficient. Also, I know that people won't do these activities. They're not super easy and efficient to do. So that's why it's so important. The second thing is it's based on relationship marketing, which I'm going to talk to you about now. And it's kind of different. It's kind of different than everything that's being taught by most trainers in this industry, maybe even people in your own company. And there's nothing wrong with the other approach. It's just a different approach. Relationship marketing is based on the concept that the relationship is more important than the sale. And that if you invest in relationships, you actually generate more business than when you just go for the sale, okay? And so it's going to feel more comfortable anyways for you guys, for most of you, as we go through it. But I just wanted you to kind of get that. So let's talk about a little bit. Actually, my slides are different order than I was thinking. First, a little bit about myself. My background is business consulting and coaching. I've been a professional business coach for 16 years, helping people build their business. That's the industry I came from. And so a lot of the principles I'll be teaching you tonight are things that I have taught literally tens of thousands of times and watch them work every single time, okay? I got into network marketing kind of by accident, most likely like a lot of you guys did. For a while, I was a Beachbody coach, and I had just, I found their products. I lost a bunch of weight. It was life-changing for me, and I was excited. So I was just sharing the products, sharing the company with other people, but I wasn't a distributor in any way, just a customer. And when I started looking at the business opportunity as a business coach, I looked at it and said, wow, it's a great opportunity, but I really don't have time to pursue it. Anybody ever feel that way? So I started looking for tools so I could leverage my time and be efficient and build that business on the side while only spending maybe an hour a day on it. And I started looking around for tools that would help me do that. And I really didn't find anything in our industry that was any good. There were some tools that were very complicated to use, and I'm not good with tech. Anybody like me? Like, it has to be easy, honestly, for me to do it. And I go to my kids all the time to get help with my iPhone. Like, that's me. People think, oh, the Teamzy guy is techie. No, there's Teamzy because I'm not, right? And the other thing is the systems, besides being complicated and ugly, look like engineers designed it. No offense to engineers, but they need a design team to help them. None of them were based on relationships. They were based on all the stuff I don't believe in. They were based on cold inviting. They were based on going for no. They were based on like automatic marketing that has no heart. The things that I don't believe work and that just don't sit right in my heart. So that's the backstory, guys. We built Teamzy because there wasn't anything like it, and it was a need, right? And obviously, it wasn't just me who needed it, because now in 2 years, we've had over 60,000 people use Teamzy. And just so you guys know, the average active user, the results the active users are getting in Teamzy is 21 new customers and 9 recruits over 90 days. Okay. So what do I mean by active? I'm going to demonstrate tonight as we do the power hour. I'll show you the level of activity that those guys are averaging to get those results. Okay. It's still much less than an hour a day. All right. So let's jump into relationship marketing. What is relationship marketing? You may have heard this term. People use it all different ways. But the most important thing to know is this. Relationship marketing is a lead generation system. It's a lead generation system. Okay, that's a system that initiates consumer interest or inquiry into the products or services of a business. Whew, that's a mouthful, right? But the reason why I'm telling you guys this to start is this. I want you to have a mindset shift. See, your business is not marketing great skincare products. That's not your business. You're in the lead generation business, okay? You are in the lead generation business. And it doesn't matter how busy you are in your business today. If you didn't do any work that will generate new leads, you did not build your business today. It's just a mindset, okay? Now, the good news is with Teamzy, you're gonna be able to do that in a very small amount of time, but it's something that you need to focus on. If you're working your business today, it's because you did lead generation work, okay? All right. Next important principle that I want you guys to get is this. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. So just to kind of get these two things down, we generate leads. In other words, we meet people, right? So we can develop and deepen relationships with them. If all you guys get from this is, oh, wow, to build my business, I need to be meeting people and developing relationships with them, then you've got it. You've got the secret code. Now I'm going to show you how to do it as we go, but that's basically it, guys. And then what we do with relationships is over time, we turn them into advocates. We invest time and excellent service in them, and we turn them into advocates, okay? It's a different approach. Rather than looking for who might be interested in becoming a customer or a consultant, we are looking to invest in people so that everyone we know becomes our advocate. Whether or not they join our business as a customer or a consultant, they are, when anyone talks about skin or a financial opportunity, you are at the top of their mind and they are your advocate. Does that make sense? Okay. And it's fun too. Okay, so another principle for you. Relationship marketing depends on trust. Relationship marketing depends on trust. Okay? In other words, if you're a jerk, this ain't gonna work. Okay? You can remember that. If you're a jerk, this ain't gonna work. I think you guys should, when you're doing like your first meeting with a new consultant, you should tell them that. Have you guys ever come across somebody in this industry who's not trustworthy? It happens a lot. Unfortunately, it's happened so much that a lot of the people that you talk to are already guarded and skeptical. Is that true? Yeah. And that's because we have been taught that the way to do this is to send 500 cold messages a day to our friends and family, or just looking for who's ready. And it violates the trust in that relationship. Relationship marketing depends on trust. Now I'm going to show you guys, there's 3 things about it that's fun. Trust makes the work fun. It's fun if they trust you, right? You don't have to sell them or convince them about anything. If there's trust, you can get right to helping people. Also, trust takes away that icky feeling. How many of you guys are paranoid about being the icky salesperson or being perceived that way? And I know that some of you didn't raise your hand, but everyone pretty much feels this way. But when there's trust, there's no icky feeling, okay? Also, you get to go for yes. You get to go for yes. So instead of going for no and churning through your warm market, people say, I've been through my warm market. I don't understand that concept. If you've connected with everyone in your warm market, they should be warmer now. Instead of throwing them over your shoulder like a dead body when they say no, you just continue to connect and invest in that relationship, and everybody becomes a yes, whether they're an advocate, a customer, or consultant down the road. Okay. So how do you build trust? If it all depends on trust, how do you build it? I'm going to give you the 4 essential ingredients to building trust, okay? So write these down, guys. I'll go through them quickly, then I'll break them out for you. The first one is chemistry. Chemistry. Okay, the second one is character. Character. Number 3 is competence. Competence. And the 4th is consistency. Consistency. Chemistry, character, competence, consistency. All right. So chemistry. Chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? Okay, chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? I'm not going to go too deep into this one because I think you guys probably get this one right away. But just think of it this way. It's hard to do business with somebody you don't like. You guys find that's true? Yeah. And the same is true for your prospects. Now, the easiest way to build that rapport is to find where your common ground is. Ask questions, figure out what you have in common. It's amazing that every person has things in common. And right now, it seems like everyone's focused on our differences. You know, if you go look at people's social media, there's so many things that are focused on how they're different from other people. As people who are running a business, you guys need to be focused on what you have in common with others. Does that make sense? And so I want you to think about this when you post, because you don't have the luxury. You just don't have the luxury of posting whatever you want. This is your business, right? I'm getting some, Emily likes that. Here's the thing though, it's true. So think about this. Is this finding common ground with the people who are with my audience when I post it? Okay, number 2 is character. Character. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you are relatable. Okay, character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you are relatable. I want you to notice something about my definition of character. It's not something you have, it's something you do. Okay? It's not something you have, it's something you do. And we all think of our character like it's something we own, right? And we get offended. Did anyone get offended? Like if someone questions your integrity? I do. I have to manage it. I use this definition as a filter because if they don't know my character, in other words, I've never demonstrated my level of care for them, why would they not question it? And so the responsibility is on us to demonstrate our character constantly. Okay, everything you do needs to be demonstrating your care for others. By the way, as you do this intentionally, it not only feels amazing, but other people will be really drawn to you. Just on a little side note, I'm reading this book right now called Social. I don't know if you guys have read it. It's kind of thick. It's all about brain studies and stuff, like brain chemistries. But one of the things that's really interesting, you guys, that somehow I'm going to have to fold this into my training, is we've been taught our whole lives that people are self-interested and self-centered, right? And like our whole economy is based on the idea that everybody's after their own interests. But the truth is they have found that when people do kind things for others, when they help others, when they do altruistic events, it releases more dopamine and the other chemicals to the brain, the reward centers, than doing something in self-interest. Do you know what that means? That means we're actually designed to help other people, not just to help ourselves. And so lean into that. That's your character. Lean into that. Be your design, which is to help other people. Okay. Little passion tangent. Competence. Number 3, competence. That's when you demonstrate that you're good at what you do and you're a business person. Okay. Competence is when you demonstrate that you are good at what you do and you are a business person. 2 pieces to competence. Again, something you do, not something you own, right? I need to know that if I have a specific problem, that, with my appearance, with my skin, can you help me? Like, do you know what you're doing? Do you know your products? That's the first piece of this. I've heard a lot of great things, but are you the person who knows what you're talking about? The second piece is, thank you, you helped me. Oh my gosh, look at my transformation. Now, I love this idea. Are you the person that will mentor me in this business? Can I trust you to mentor me in this business? Can I put my business success in your hands? Are you competent enough to do that? Again, if you're new and the answer really isn't yes, and have you guys ever heard the phrase "fake it till you make it"? You guys ever heard that? Just fake it till you make it. Here's my advice to you: don't fake it. Remember, this is about trust. It's a different perspective. You need to be real. Hey, I'm brand new and I know nothing. But you know what's cool? I'm part of one of the best teams in Rodan Fields. And literally a text message away is all the knowledge in the world. So when you come in with me, you don't just plug in as my knowledge. You're plugging into one of the best teams. And when it comes to learning how to do this business, we're going to do it together. We're going to plug into the training program. we're going to plug into the support of our team. So when you don't have the competence, guys, you demonstrate your team's competence. You lean into your team. Don't fake it. Plus, when you're talking your warm market, they know all the dumb things you've done. They were there, right? So you just need to lean into your team and teach your team to lean into you until they have their own level of competence to build. Make sense? Okay. I've even heard this team brings like the Teamzy guy in for training. I mean, that is serious commitment to your growth. Seriously. All right. Here's a principle real quick before we move on to the next one. And that's this. People only care about three things. This is when they're going to do business with you. They only care about three things. Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? This principle has been around forever, and you can see I built some of my training on it. I throw it out here because these are questions that people ask. A lot of times we use the word subconscious, right? But for thousands of years, when people wanted to talk about subconscious, they said heart. These are heart questions. They're not questions they're thinking. They're questions they're feeling. Make sense? So these things, this is the root of any objection in your business, comes from these questions. When people are objecting to anything, it's because these questions aren't answered. That doesn't mean you don't need to overcome that objection, but you need to understand, okay, they've got objections, I'll overcome the objections and continue investing in this relationship and building trust with this person. Because I've overcome the objection today, but it's still in their heart, and I have to continue developing trust. Make sense? Okay. It's fine if you're selling a car and they buy the car and move away, but when you're selling somebody on a process, a lifestyle, being a part of your team ongoing, that's when you have to continue that relationship. Okay. Number 4 is consistency. Consistency. Oh, man. Is there anybody that just, when I say the word consistency, you're like, ooh, sounds like work, right? Consistency is hard, but it is the most important thing. When you're talking about success, obviously consistency is the most important. Consistency is also the most important factor in failure. Because we are all of us are good at consistency, just usually at our bad habits, right? We're very consistent on our bad habits. It's getting consistent on new habits that's a challenge, okay? So, but when it comes to building trust, which is what we're talking about here, super important. How many of you guys have kids? And how important would you say is being consistent with building trust with your children? It's the same with all people. Okay, here's a principle I'm going to drop on you right here. My presentation is not as fast as my brain. It drives me crazy. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. This is a paraphrase from a chapter in one of my favorite personal development books, which I'm going to recommend to you guys. It's awesome. And it's called Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion by Robert Cialdini. This is what it looks like. I've got it right here on my desk to show you. I'm sorry, the beautiful San Diego sunset is reflecting on that. Sorry. Influence by Robert Cialdini. If you guys have not read that book, especially leaders or emerging leaders, you should read this book. It's about the 6 laws of social persuasion. Robert Cialdini is the preeminent social scientist on how people are motivated in our society now. He's like the Einstein of this topic. Great book. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. How many of you guys are consistent posting on social media and things like that? You've got a following. Do you ever hear from people that you are inspiring? Does people tell you that you're an inspiration at times? And it seems strange, doesn't it, when your kid just threw up on your shoes and then somebody tells you that you're inspiring, right? But the reason why people find you inspiring typically is because you're being consistent. That's so inspiring. And this is what they mean by inspiring. They respect it and desire it for themselves. I wish I could do that. That's why you're an inspiration to me. Consistency is huge, guys. And so I want to just talk to you a little bit about this as we go on, because I know that you're consistent you guys already said, you post on social. How many of you guys are consistent using your products? Duh, right? Of course. But are you consistent with your relationships? This is your checkup from the neck up, as Zig Ziglar would say. Are you consistent with your relationships? Are you consistent about staying in touch with people as you are posting on social, using your products, things like that? Because the truth is, guys, you need to understand this principle. People won't believe you till they see you. People won't believe you till they see you. What do I mean by this? I mean, you guys are posting and you've got this life and there are people following you. Some of you have a large following. And the larger your following, actually, the more obvious it is that there are a small amount of people engaging. Most people are watching you like a TV show. They enjoy it, but they don't feel like they're actually part of the cast. Does that make sense? And you put a post, you invite people to your business, you're showing things, you know, you're in Hawaii on the company's dime. That is so awesome. You know, people are watching that, wishing they could do it. But until they hear from you one-on-one personally, many of them won't believe that invitation is extended to them. If they haven't heard from you since high school, they're watching you. You are a TV show that they are not a part of, but they're enjoying it. And so what I'm going to show you guys today is how, as you connect with people one-on-one, it makes a huge impact. And some of you who are using Teams, you've probably been very surprised at how happy people are to hear from you when you are like this, sending the message to them, you know? All right. But what you got to get from this is that relationship building is a contact sport. It's a contact sport. That means you need to be in regular contact with people if you want to have a relationship with them, okay? I know time is scarce. Luckily, we have a tool that will help you do it really efficiently. Okay, but here's the principle I want you to get. This is my biggest principle for the day. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. This principle lets me answer any question. People say, well, what about automated drip systems? Are those good? No, because guess what they don't do? Either of these two things. They might be great for other business types, but this business is about relationships. Investing time connecting people is the only way to deepen relationships. Let me just give you guys a quick example on this really quick, and then we'll jump into Teamzy, do some fun Teamzy stuff. How many of you guys, and if you guys have your cameras off, I highly recommend you turn your camera on, because then I know you're at least in the room and we'll hold you a little accountable. How many of you guys have ever received a card from somebody that you care about? Like the kind of card that has some white space in it and they wrote a little message that really like moved you emotionally. Has anyone ever received one of those? How many of you guys are married? I hope the same hands go up or somebody's in trouble. When you get a card like that, it makes an impact emotionally, right? How many of you guys are saps, like the card's more important than the present? That's me. My wife's the other way around. She's like, nice card, honey. Where's my present, right? There's always in a relationship, there's one like that and one like the other. When you get a card like that and after you read it, you know, and maybe you got a couple of little tears in your eye reading it. Let's say it's from your kids. Those are even better, right? You get one from one of your kids. Oh my gosh. When you're done reading that, do you just crumple it up, throw it in the trash can? Like, that was nice. Throw it away. You guys save them, right? Do you have like a pretty box or a drawer where you put them? A lot of times people will go out of their way to buy a pretty box to put the cards in that they keep that are special, and we can never part with them. In fact, often those cards, when somebody passes away, are the things that are most treasured by their family. Have you ever thought about that? Like, those are a generational, that's like an heirloom. People save those. They mean so much. Now, on the flip side, how many of you guys have ever received one of these? I don't know if you can see it because of the sunshine. How's that? There it is. You see that? It's a postcard, a birthday postcard from my insurance salesman. Okay. Now, you can't really see it because of the way the sun's shining in my window, but it looks like it's handwritten, but it's not handwritten. It's like fake handwriting, right? And it says, happy birthday. I want to thank you for your business and the opportunity to help your life go right. Which I don't really know what that means, because he's my life insurance guy. So if I ever need him, I'm dead, right? I guess he helps my family's life go right. My point is, when you get one of these from your chiropractor, your dentist, whatever, does this go in the pretty special box with the other special notes? Do you throw this away? You guys even probably have a way to throw this away before it gets into the house, right? Between the mailbox and the house, you've got like a garage trash. I have a shredder. Do you guys go through your front door or your garage doors? Kind of a mix. We go through, in California, you know, we drive right into our garage, close it. It's like a fortress. And I have a shredder next to the garage door into the house before I get into the house, where I can just drop stuff in. But my point is this is not special. It has no value. And now what is the difference between this and a birthday card from my wife with a great message? Like, what is the difference? The reason this has no value is because the person who sent it to me invested no time. The only thing that has value in our world is time. In fact, we think money is valuable, but money is stored time. People give up time to earn money, and then they spend it, right? You're spending time when you spend money. It's just kind of a concept. But the time is the most valuable thing. The card meant something because someone invested undivided attention even. Because when you're writing a message like that, you can't be playing around on Facebook, right? Investing time in people is the only way to deepen relationship, and it means a ton. It means a ton, you guys. Even I'm not saying you need to be writing cards to everybody all the time, though. However, you should, as much as you can, send people handwritten notes. It means the world, and they will never throw it away. But I'm going to show you, I'm going to use, my preferred form of communication in the business is Facebook Messenger when you can. And even sending somebody a personal message on Facebook is so rare and special because it was invested just in them. Okay? So I want you guys to get that concept. The way to deepen relationships is by investing time and connecting with people. All right. I've got one more slide and then we're going to jump into Teamzy. Okay, so what you need, you guys, I'm giving you the concepts. I know you guys like them. I'm watching your faces. These are good concepts. Everyone's going, yep. He's getting me. I believe in this too. This is what you need though. You have to have a system to it. You can't just believe in these things. You have to apply them in a way that makes sense in your business and that leverages your time. You need a way to stay in contact with all your relationships. All your relationships. I got off a consulting call right before I got on with you guys, with a real estate team I'm helping up in Los Angeles. And they've got their list of people that they connect with. It's like 400 people. And I looked at this person's Facebook. I said, you have 2,000 Facebook friends. How come you only have 400 people you're in touch with? You need to be in contact with everyone you know. Okay, all your relationships. You need a system to know when to contact them, when to, and when not to. In other words, I don't want you spending 3 hours planning a 1 hour power hour. I want you just to be able to do it. Also, you should know what to say so that you don't spend an hour in analysis paralysis getting the perfect message, right? Yeah, some of you guys, I hit you between the eyes with that one. Just boom, let's just get this conversation started. Let's make contact, okay? And make sure that nobody falls through the cracks. Goodness forbid. Oh, it's so painful, isn't it, when people fall through the cracks? Do you know, I don't know what it is for Rodan and Fields. I would love, if I had time, I would do a statistical study, and let you know how much money is wasted by people falling through the cracks. But you guys don't even need to know that, because you know how much it stings when you've talked to somebody, they're interested, they're excited, you planted the seed with them, you educated them, and they're just not ready. And so some time passes and you find out, yeah, they joined the business with somebody else. Oh, it hurts, doesn't it? They just fell through the cracks. You did everything but be there when they were ready for harvest. So you got to have a system. You got to have a system that's watertight. Now, the good news is you guys are here today to see the system. Some of you are already using it, which is awesome. And I'm going to show you how to absolutely master it today. Okay. So let's jump into Teamzy. Where are you, Teamzy? Google Chrome, Teamzy team. Here we go. Okay. All right. So here's my Teamzy dashboard. First thing I want you guys to know is, if you're not already using Teamzy, you can go get a free trial of Teamzy for 30 days. It's free, no credit card required, nothing weird, no automatic billing, nothing. Just go use it for free for 30 days. And I know that Emily's already been getting after you guys to do that, so you probably don't need me to tell you that. But if you haven't done it yet, go do it. Okay. So when you're in your free trial, you're going to come into a setup wizard to get started. A lot of you guys have set this up already, but I'm still going to take you through the process quickly because maybe you missed some things. The setup wizard you can get to anytime right here in settings. Okay. You can sign up for Facebook Messenger tips, which will help you a lot during your free trial, especially since you probably don't read emails, right? How many of you guys have 100 or more emails in your box right now, unopened, unread? Yeah. I always think this is funny because we all do this, right? I even have a special app that lets me delete like 500 at a time. But I do. It's awesome. If you're in a Mac, it's called Spark. If you use Macs. But here's the thing, guys. You guys probably have sent an email to a prospect and are wondering why they haven't responded. We all do this. Like we won't respond to emails, and then we wonder why no one listens to ours. So email is on my list of ways of communication. It's my lowest, just so you know. All right, because the response rate's so low. So here's what we do in Setup Wizard. We're gonna do 3 things. We'll set your income goal. Teamzy's gonna take your income goal and tell you what to do every day to hit it. Pretty cool. Because when you want to build a business big, you got to make your focus small. Okay, guys, there's one. It's not even in my presentation. I'm giving it to you though. Write that one down. You can pass it off as your own. If you want to make your business big, you got to make your focus small. We'll create a powerful why so you won't quit. One of the things I'm going to talk to you guys about in a minute is 1 out of 2 people quit in their first year. It's because they don't know why they're here. We're going to get your contacts into Teamzy, ranked, organized, super mega organized. So you can stop trying to keep things on notepads that you never have in your hand when you need them, or my worst nightmare, managing a spreadsheet. You don't even know. I can't stand. I mean, I work in them enough because I have to, but it's like the worst thing. It's like how many of you guys have dogs? I love my dog. She's my girlfriend. She's part of my family. Love her. I have a Rottweiler, and she's the same weight as my wife, so I can watch TV, and it's like it's like my dog. But I will tell you this, I don't like cleaning up after my dog. That is what spreadsheets are for me. It's an important part of business. Don't like it. That's why we built Teamzy. All right, great. Somebody's decorating our presentation. It's cool, with little green lines. This is a live thing. You guys could actually write me notes on here, but everyone will see them. So the first thing you're going to do is set your income goal. You put a number in here. I put 150,000 in. This is the income level you'd like to be at 12 months from now. Now, this system is based on starting from 0. So if you're already making great income in your business, then your goal is going to be the amount you're going to increase it in 12 months. Okay? Make sense? So if you're making 50,000 now and you want to make 150,000 in 12 months, put 100,000 in as your goal. Okay? If you're making, because I had a presentation last night, somebody was making $400,000 in their business. They wanted to go to $500,000. They put $500,000 in here and they were like, Eric, I can't do that many connects. No. Your goal is 100. Make sense? Okay. So put in the number. I put in 150. So now what it's going to tell me is over the next 12 months, I need to connect with 4,348 people. It's a good number. How many of you guys do talk to over 4,000 people a year? Look whose hand goes up. Guess who just went to Hawaii? Hey, there are perks to working your butt off. All right. But here's the good thing. If you're efficient and leveraged, guys, it doesn't mean your whole life has to be this, but it does mean a commitment to being consistent. So, but how do I do this? 4,348 people. If you need to eat an elephant, how do you do it? Anyone know this one? 1 bite at a time. Next page breaks it down for us. So I got the breakdown page. So I look at my people as this: prospects, customers, and consultants. Then I break it down. Teamzy gives me a suggestion, monthly, weekly, daily. So now I have my daily focus. Connect with 9 prospects, 6 customers, 4 consultants. Okay? That's 19 people. It's going to be 20 minutes work. And then we're going to invite 3 people and add 3 people. So let me just tell you what these things mean. Connects are literally that. It's sometimes you guys call them reach outs, I think. What we're doing with a connect is we are just trying to make their day and say hello. That's it. I call it the make someone's day mindset. The idea of a connect is just, hey, I just wanted to make your day. I want them to smile. I want them to see my name, a message from me, and smile. And then my second goal is hopefully they'll respond and we can have a conversation. Okay? What I'm not doing on connects is cold inviting or talking about my business in any way. It's just, and I'll show you some of the scripts that we put in here to help you guys do this are very basic. Just things like, hey, I haven't talked to you in a while. How are you? Hope you're having an awesome day. Simple. Things like that have a huge response rate. And then when you get to an invite is when you're talking about the business. That's when you're inviting somebody to a 3-way call or an opportunity call or to an event or to try a sample. or to have coffee and talk about the business. Those are invites. And so you'll notice here in this example of a daily goal, we're connecting with 19 people in the Make Someone's Day mindset. We'll probably create 10 conversations out of those 19 outgoing connects. And out of those 10 conversations, we're hoping for 3 opportunities to organically talk about our business. So that means that out of 19, 16 of those conversations didn't go towards the business at all, but we invested in 16 relationships. And down the road, those people will join the pipeline. Does this make sense? Okay, ads, this is new people we're adding to the list every day. New people, fresh water, bringing fresh water in. Now, I want you guys to know you can change these numbers to anything that you want just by overwriting them. It's just a suggestion. If you have no consultants, you're brand new, you can make this 0. And then you could add the 4 over here. Okay? Does that make sense? If you have, same thing if you have no customers yet. You can move them around to whatever is appropriate to you, whatever you want. And then when you have the numbers the way you want them, click continue. But here's one thing that I will recommend. Don't go less than 3 invites or less than 3 ads as a goal. Those are like your minimum goals, okay? Now, those of you guys who have been using Teamzy a few weeks, you may have struggled to get those invites the first 3 weeks. I'm gonna show you the workflow because there's some compounding effect of having conversations that takes a couple weeks to kind of kick in before you fill the invite pipeline. So don't fret. But by the 4th week of your free trial, if you are working the system as I show you tonight, you will have a full pipeline of follow-ups by the 4th week. I'm just finishing up my first boot camp, which is a 3-month intensive program where I put people into Teamzy and they have like a certain goal they have to hit every day. And then we do training each week on a different aspect of relationship marketing, going deeper. And I want you to know, like when we got to our 4th week, the 3rd week, so many people were like, we're having great conversations, but I'm not really converting. And then on that 4th week of that first 30 days, what we found was people were hitting their best months ever. It compounds, okay? And then once your pipeline is full with relationship marketing after a few weeks, it will stay that way. You keep going. Okay, so whatever you put in these boxes, when you click continue, it will save it to your dashboard. Your dashboard will be configured to these numbers, okay? All right. Let's talk real quick about finding your why. And I know you guys, a lot of you guys did the Teamzy challenge. How many of you guys did your why in Teamzy and got that done? Okay, a few of you. This is important, and I mentioned it before, but you guys need to understand that 1 out of 2 people quit in the business in the first year, and many more quit over the next couple of years. And usually, it's not a dramatic reason that they quit. Usually, it's more like it's like a balloon with a slow leak, you know? And that comes from a lack of having a why. The thing is, guys, is that I'll just be honest with you, we're quitters. And that's our default setting. You know, our subconscious mind wants to keep us safe and wants to protect us from danger. And so when things get hard, we tend to quit. We move, you know, we're programmed kind of to move away from the hardness so that we can stay safe. The only time that we do extraordinary things as people and become extraordinarily successful in something is because there's an important emotional reason why. And the cool thing is for every one of you, no matter what you think is the reason you got into this business, you have one of these. You just got to get it from here, down in your heart, up to the forefront of your mind. And it's not this, a lot of times people think it's this like mystical process, and that's why they don't do it. It's like, wow, this is just some strange mystical thing. It's not. It's actually quite simple. You just got to get yourself thinking about it a little bit. So I'm going to take you through the process. We put this down to 5 questions in Teamzy just to get your mind going. And you can take new recruits through the same process and help them uncover their why. Your why is going to change and go deeper over time, but you still need to uncover the basic one. Now, just like really quick, before I even take you through these questions, I'm just going to help you shortcut to your why by asking you these. I always ask these when I'm on live trainings. Is there anything you believe in so strongly that you would never compromise it? I mean, you probably have something like that, right? And then the other question is, you know, is there anything or any person or people that you would put yourself in harm's way to protect? Right? even maybe as far as giving your life to protect them. So these are deep things, right? And so that's always going to be part of your why. Here's just a little philosophical question I like to ask you. If you said yes, there's something you would give your life to protect, what will you do to live for them? Truly live for them. Oh, I said I wasn't going to mystify it or make it deep, but here I'm going deep. I can't help it. All right, let's jump into Teams and go through these 5 questions together. I'm going to share my story as an example, guys, just as an example. So, where's Teamzy? Here we go. So you get an idea. Obviously, your story is going to be different. So the first question is, why did you become a consultant? And why'd you join the business? And this is a great question to ask a new person, a new consultant on your team. Like, why'd you sign up? What made you do it? Now, I'm going to tell you my story. Remember, I used to be a Beachbody coach. So I actually did P90X. You guys ever heard of P90X? Probably. I did P90X. I lost 60 pounds in just over 3 months. It was pretty crazy. And people were asking me about it all the time, as you can imagine. And so I became a consultant because my wife was like, dummy, you can get paid for that. So I did. I signed up. What did you hope to accomplish? Next question. I just wanted to make $500 a month extra money. That's it. $500 a month extra money. That was my goal. I wasn't at that point motivated to change the way network marketing is taught, to bring heart into the business, all that, because I didn't know any of that yet. I just wanted to make $500 a month. Why is that important to you? Third question. Because I wanted to save it. I wanted to put it in savings. How many of you guys would just like to put some money in the savings account? Like that would be a good goal. So I'll just give you a little bit of the backstory here for me. I told you guys I come from the coaching industry. I worked for years with real estate people. I still do a little bit just on the side because it's like when you have so much experience, you just got to keep those knives sharp, right? But I worked with real estate people for years, helping them build their business. And then when the Great Recession hit, you guys remember the first industry to die? I mean, it caused the recession. It was real estate. And it was like, there was suddenly no income available in my industry because there were no real estate agents. And the ones that were there, they were flailing too. So it was really scary. I ended up getting laid off along with most of my company. I had to go find work in a different industry after a decade. And I was the sole breadwinner of my family. It was scary. And I know for a lot of you guys, probably it was too. It was a scary time for a lot of people, and I was one of the lucky ones. By God's good grace, I found work within 90 days and we were good. Like we made it by our fingernails, but we made it. But we used all our savings and we weren't putting anything back in savings ever. We were just kind of living off what I could earn. And over time, the economy got better. I actually got my old job back at my old company and things were good, but we still weren't able to save any money, right? We just weren't. And so time had gone on. And by the time I got to this stage of the game where I was starting a network marketing business, it had been almost 7 years that we hadn't saved a penny. I had done the math and figured out that if I lost my income for more than 60 days, it would all fall down. Isn't that crazy? Do you know how many people in North America live like that? Like there's 60 days from everything falling down. And that's the way I was too. So saving $500 a month was really exciting to me. And you guys need to know that as I'm going through these questions, figuring out my why, by the time I got to $500 a month in the savings, I was actually starting to get pretty excited about my business. Because even though I hadn't thought it as deep as I just explained to you guys, it was hitting an emotional chord with me. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's jump to the next question real quick. What would achieving this mean for you and your family? Fourth question. And so when I was asked this, I thought, you know what? The reason why I'd like to save money is easy. I'd like to buy a new house for the family. We were in a house, we'd outgrown it. We had 4 kids. At the time, we had 2 dogs, 2 big dogs, and 4 kids. And we were in the house. Everyone was sharing rooms, including my wife and I. We had a crib in our room that just constantly had new babies in it. I don't know, something was going wrong. We needed more space. Every room seemed to be full of kids, living beings, and toys. I know some of you guys can relate to that too. So I just wanted to buy a new house for us. It was just kind of a dream. And our home was upside down in its mortgage, $250,000 because of the recession, the way it flipped real estate values. And it was just scary. And so I thought, man, if I could save money, just even $500 a month long enough, we could get a new house. Okay, so now I've gone from, yeah, I'll sign up to, wow, I'm visualizing us in a new home. It is getting me more motivated to do my business. Now I get to this last question. Why is that meaningful? How does this make you feel? Why is that meaningful? How does this make you feel? And sometimes when you go through this process, you need to kind of go through it a few times to keep going layers deeper. But when I started thinking about why buying a new home was meaningful, the truth is that it wasn't that meaningful, right? It was just something I wanted. And so I had to really dig down deep and think about that. And here's what I came up with was that it was something I hadn't allowed myself to even think out loud, but it was in my heart. And that's the whole point of this process. That the house wasn't important, but it was what it represented. It was symbolic of my family, right? It was symbolic of my family. See, the situation I was in was I was working really hard. I was at a level of success in my career where I was respected. People saw me at the top. Yet I would get up in the morning while my kids were still in their pajamas and I would leave for work. And I would come home, they'd already had their supper and were in the bathtub. And I would put them to bed. That was my relationship with my kids, was I got to see them in the morning, kiss them goodbye, and put them to bed. My kids were calling me by the names of their teachers more often than daddy. And I felt like, man, I'm missing something. Here I'm working so hard. I'm at the top. There's nowhere else for me to grow in this industry. And yet we haven't saved money in 6 years. Anyone ever just feel completely stuck? And here I would tell myself every day, like, we're doing great. We're doing great. We're in great shape. Wow, this is so great. But at this moment, going through my why, I realized something. I started this little side hustle to get me extra money. Because why did I need extra money? Because I was stuck in my career. Something happened. I realized that this was an opportunity to design the life I always wanted. My career wasn't getting me there. 15 years got me nowhere. I mean, it got me to a decent level of income. When I started, I thought, boy, if I get there, I'd have it made. But here I was there and I didn't have it made. You guys ever feel that way? Here's what happened. I wrote my first why statement, which I'm going to share with you guys in a second. And it flipped the switch. My job became my extra money. And my network marketing business became my big deal. Does that make sense? Because I realized there was a future here. And so I used my salary and my career as leverage to launch my business. So let me just share with you guys the why that I wrote. My why is actually the sample text on your Teamzy accounts. Oh, look, I wrote over it. Hold on, let me take this out so I can read my sample text. This was the why that I wrote back then. To create a life where I never have to worry about money again. I enjoy quality time with my family and I'm present for my children on a daily basis. I'm healthy and full of energy. Guys, this why drove everything. You know what? This is my life now. Do you know what I did today? I got up this morning. I had a marketing meeting with my head of design and marketing. And then I took my kids to the beach. We played in the sand and the water. The water's freezing right now, but everybody from the Midwest and the East Coast here on vacation, they think it's awesome. But it was nice, 75 degrees today. We went to the beach. We played in the sand. I came back. I had a consulting call. Now I'm doing this. This is my life. I get to be with my kids every day. It's so fun. Okay. When I wrote this why, I was working in a dead-end job. I had nowhere to build my business. Here's what happened to me. This made me feel like I had to do it. It wasn't just extra. This was, I was compelled to do this. And so I had to figure out how to make it happen. I'll tell you what I did. I wanted to leave my job and focus on my business, and I had nowhere to work at home. How many of you guys have nowhere to work at home? I went to Home Depot. They have these sheds out in the parking lot of Home Depot. Have you guys seen those sheds? I was like, how much is this? So like, great. I want it delivered in my backyard. They're like, do you want a concrete slab? I'm like, no, I don't have money for that. Just throw it on the dirt. They built this shed in my backyard on the dirt. And I ran an extension cord out there. I put my Mac out there and I started building my business in a wood shed in my backyard. You guys, we called it the shed quarters. Sometimes I called it the shoffice. I did trainings like this with nails coming down from the ceiling. And in the summertime, I would be dripping, pouring sweat in this shed. And I just made it happen. If you have your why right, you guys, nothing can stop you. And the thing is people think, oh, big things happen. They go through divorces, they have deaths in the family, they have sickness, they have illness, things like that happen. But what sidetracks people the most is this little feeling like, I don't really feel like doing it today. It'll be fine if I do it on Wednesday. And when you have that little feeling and they add up a couple days in a row, you're out of business. Your why kicks you in the butt. I don't feel like doing it half the time. Then I remember why I'm doing it. It's everything. Make sense? It's kind of like you just have to do it. So don't skip the my why part. If you have skipped it, go back and do it. Okay, go back and do it. And get your team to do it. Do it together. Do it on a team call, whatever. Copy my presentation I just did and get people fired up to get their whys done so that they will stick to this business when they don't feel like doing it. Make sense? Okay. Let's go to the next step. The last step is getting your contacts in. So here's what you want to do, guys, if you haven't done this yet. You want to go into Pulse and get your team first. Okay? Get your consultants first. If you've got a large team, just get your first level people. Okay? And then you're going to get your customer list in second. Okay? And there's a video here that kind of shows you how to do it. If you're really tech averse like me, we'll help you. We'll walk you through it one-on-one. Okay? So there are going to be some of you who do that, and that's totally fine. That's probably what I would have to do too. And then you're going to get your Facebook file, all your Facebook friends in. And if you just get those, man, you are ready to rock and roll because your Facebook list is solid gold. Solid gold. I'm going to show you guys how I like to use Facebook Messenger in a second. Anywhere else that you have contacts, you can bring them in as a CSV file and import them in. And there's a few videos here, but if you actually go out to our help center, which is right here on the left side of Teamzy, there's quite a few more tutorial videos and pro tips and things like that, and then FAQ instructions. Okay, so use that if you run into trouble. And if you can't do that, click this help button, ask for help from our team, and they will take great care of you. Okay. All right. So now we've set up. Oh, there's one more thing I need to do to set up. How am I doing on time? I may skip that. Now I'll just do it really quick. So there's one more thing that we do, and we rank everybody. We rank them on a 5-star scale. Okay. So after you do an import, it'll drop you into rank mode. I'll just turn it on right here. What we do is we go down the list and we rank them. 5 stars is awesome. 1 star is not so awesome. Okay. If you see a duplicate, you can delete them with the trash can. Now everybody's a 3-star to start with. That's where it defaults. Okay. So you don't really have to rank everybody. Really what you're doing is looking for your 4- and 5-star people. So let me just give you our definitions of these stars. But what you need to get from this is that the higher the star rating, the more often you talk to that person. Okay? So 5 stars is somebody most likely to become a customer or a consultant, or they're an existing customer or consultant that's a rock star. 5-star people are going to show up every 30 days on your up next list. That's not your follow-up list. That's just your, hey, I'm connecting with you to say hello. How's your day going? I'm working on a relationship. Okay? Your connect list, your up next list. 4 stars, they're likely to become a customer or a consultant with a little bit of nurturing. They're your warm leads, okay? Or they're on your team already and they're just your consistent people. They'll show up every 60 days. 3 stars could go either way. They show up every 90 days. 2 stars getting colder, they show up every 120 days. Guys, this helps you keep your focus on the best people while still warming the entire list over time. Does that make sense? Now, if you've got 100 people on your list, you're going to be calling me in 2 weeks going, my lists are empty. That's because 100 people is not going to build your business. You need to build your list. You need to build your list. And you know at least 500 people right now. And then you need to get out meeting new people and building that list. Okay, guys? All right. When you have 5,000, 6,000 people on your list, you're going to love this system because you're going to be in touch with everybody seamlessly. Everyone's going to think that you're freaking amazing. And your pipeline's always going to be full. It's going to be super fun. Okay, now that we're ready to do our power hour, let me take you through the process. So you've got, what I wanted to show you on your whys, look, it says that you haven't completed your whys. That's because I didn't put anything in that last box. So I click that to go back to this section. See this last box? There's nothing written there. So you got to write your why in. Okay, and then click continue. That saves it. Let me skip the wizard. So now your why is on the dashboard. Okay. And that message is gone. Okay, today's activities, these are the goals we just set and set up. Connect with 10 prospects, 6 customers, 4 consultants, 3 invites, 3 ads. Those are the goals we just set. That's my daily target. I'm going to work in this Who's Up Next module, which is right in the center. The Who's Up Next is real simple. The left side has my lists, has 4 lists, prospects, customers, consultants, follow-ups. Okay? On the right side is where we log the activity that we're doing. Okay? Simple. We're going to work from left to right, always work from left to right. Even if you have 100 follow-ups due, work from left to right, okay? So first thing on my list are prospects. So what I'm gonna do is connect. I'm gonna make their day, and I'm hoping to start a conversation. Now, remember I told you about not getting stuck in analysis paralysis? We've got scripts here to help you start conversations. Guys, these are not just theoretical. They've been used tens of thousands of times. They get an amazing response. So what you do is, I'm gonna connect with Jay. Maybe I don't have any clue what to say to Jay. Anyone ever feel that way? So I'm gonna go to scripts right here in the bottom of the connect box. I'm gonna grab a Facebook script because I'm gonna message her on Facebook. And here's a connect. Connect number 1. Hi Jane, just stopping by to say hello. How are you? I hope your day is awesome. This, by the way, is my favorite. I've used this one more than any other, and it works amazing. Now you can take this, hit copy script, copy it to your clipboard, okay, if you want to use it. I'm going to paste it right in here so that I can edit it before I send it to her. So maybe I'll take it and I'll just change her name, obviously. And maybe like me, you like to do some emoticon action. I don't know, just send an emoticon. Boom. All right, great. All right, so I like to get the script exactly the way I want it in here. And then what I'll do now is I'm gonna go send it in Facebook, okay? So I'll copy it. Facebook's open up here. You have to send Facebook messages through Facebook. Facebook won't let any apps interface with them anymore. That's just part of their deal. They wanna rule the world, and they're close to doing it. Okay, so I'm gonna go to Facebook and I'm gonna look up Jay. It only takes a second anyways, it's no big deal. So there's Jay, and I'm gonna send her this message. Okay, and I've got it all ready to go. Look at that. Boom. Hi, Jay. Just stopping by to say hello. How are you? Hope your day is awesome. Send. Bam. So easy, right? Now I'm going to toggle back to Teamzy and finish logging this. It's already there, so I don't have to paste it in there. That was a Facebook message, and I'm going to click Log Connect. So now I've logged in Facebook. I sent her the message, and it's logged in Facebook. I'm on to the next person, Emily. She's next. I'm going to do the same thing. Boom. I'll put it in here. Change the name. Now you know my secrets, Emily. Look her up. People are always like, do you spend time going through their page and liking everything and making comments before you send it? No, I don't. No. Nope. That's analysis paralysis, guys. Here's the thing. When Emily responds to me and we're having a conversation, that's when I'm going to go to her page and really look at what's going on. Right? Makes sense? But in the meantime, get these messages out. Now, I've got this one done, ready to go, logged. Oops, I forgot to select activity. That was a Facebook message. Boom, log it. Now I've got 2 done. How quickly do you think I could get 10 done? I'll just use that same script 10 times. Change the name. Don't overthink. Don't overthink. Get these messages out. Now, people will start responding. Be disciplined. Don't respond back until you're done with all your outgoing messages so you get it done, okay? So I'm going to keep going down my list until I get 10. That was my goal. Your goal might not be 10. Whatever your goal is, that's what you're going to do. And then when I'm done with those, I'm going to go to customers. Now, just notice something about the up next list. There's only 5 names at a time. Did you guys notice that? That's on purpose. That's to minimize overwhelm. How overwhelmed would you be if you saw that you had 6,000 due on your prospects list? You've got 5 up next. Also, it minimizes skipping around. Skipping around is another form of procrastination. Just connect with the next person on your list. Just send the message. It takes nothing. Now look, Rachette is my customer. She's the first person on my customer list. I'm going to connect with her the same way. I'll go to scripts. I'll grab a script. Okay. Now, these are customer scripts. They're different, right? So there's some great scripts on asking for recommendations. Great scripts. Jane, you're doing great. I'm proud of you. Congratulations on her results, right? I'm like, you've got tarantulas crawling across your eyes. That's amazing that your lashes are so long. Oh my gosh. You guys, Lash Boost is crazy. Since you guys came out with that, like the pictures I see on the before and afters are nuts. Okay. It's amazing. People are starting to put it on bald spots. You know that on their head? Are you guys marketing Lash Boost to husbands yet? Why not? I mean, I notice people growing, this is a side note. Notice people growing eyebrows with it. Why don't you, it's going to work everywhere. You guys should somebody should tell corporate that they should just give it a new name and package it for men. The new Rogaine. It's like $1 billion industry, just that. Okay, sorry. Anyways, I'm always entrepreneurial. I can't help it. So you're going to send one of these messages. Like this one is a great one. Hi, John. How are you enjoying the whatever that person's using? Send me an update. Let me know how I can be of help. Send me an update. Let me know how I can be of help. Just connecting with customers. This is so huge, you guys. So many people in this business, they're looking for the next customer and they don't really stay in contact with their old customers. Except for maybe to send them an offer or whatever. Just stay in touch with them. You don't have to send them, every time you connect with them, it doesn't have to be like, hey, your order's coming up. Would you like to add to it or anything? Just connect with people. If you stay in consistent contact with customers, you guys, they will order more products. This is a fact. Just staying in touch with people, they will order more. If they're on a recurring order, they will retain longer. So your volume goes up and your retention goes up just by staying in touch. And a lot of people avoid customers because they're fearful of getting cancels. If somebody's thinking of canceling, the best thing you can do is be in contact with them because you can help them. You can educate them. You can maybe help them change their regimen. Okay? Imagine if everyone on your team was in contact with their customers on a regular basis. Imagine what the volume would look like for the whole team. I know Emily imagines this, which is why she has been encouraging you guys to do this stuff, for crying out loud, right? Okay, good. It's a win-win for everybody. There's the third reason, though, or the most important reason why you should be in touch with your customers is this. Get your pens out. This is an important one. The hottest source for a new lead is your current customer. The hottest source for a new lead is your current customer. Guys, think about how we're wired as human beings. When we love something, what do? We tell people about it. How many of you guys have customers who love their products that they get from you? Those people already have been talking about it. I guarantee you. They've got people who are ready to purchase right now. Those people are going to purchase, just maybe not from you. So be in touch, get introduced to the people they're talking to. Ask them, hey, is there anybody you know who needs more information on this? I'm sure you've been telling people about the results you're getting. Is there anyone I can help? If you want to introduce me to those people, I'll be happy to get them the information they need. It's simple. Guys do it all day. In my boot camp, by the way, when I did a full hour training on how to do this, and you should see the posts. People are like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. I signed up 3 consultants just doing this. Just going to my customers and asking them that question. If somebody has been talking to a lot of people, guess what? They're your next consultant. Oh my gosh, I've been telling everybody about this. You have? What are their names? Let's get them on a conversation. Okay, are you guys with me? Are you with me? Tracking with me. It all starts with regular, consistent contact with your customers. Okay? All right. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to send our messages to our customers. Bam, 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 bam. In this case, it was 6. When I've sent messages to the next 6 customers on my list, then I will move over to my consultants list. Now, people always ask me, well, you do Facebook message everybody. What if they're not on Facebook? I Facebook message everyone that's on Facebook. If I don't have them on Facebook and I can text them, I text them. If all I have is an email, I'll email them. But again, Facebook's number 1. It has the best response rate of any communication platform in the world, followed by text, followed by just about everything else, and then email. Okay. Next, consultants. So we'll go down our consultants list. Again, when I go to scripts, I'm going to find scripts, a couple of scripts for consultants, which is great. I'm a proud of you script. This is a great one. Just checking in to see if there's anything I can do to make your day. This is huge. As people grow big teams, and I've seen this in every network, they get too busy to stay in touch with their team one-on-one. So they default to the group stuff. You know, like they have the Facebook page and they'll do Zoom calls, things like that. And those are great, by the way. They're great. But hearing from you personally makes all the difference. It's going to increase the retention of your consultants, and it's going to increase the cohesiveness of your team. If you were overwhelmed at the thought of doing that, now you've got Teamzy and it's super easy. Just sending people a message every few months. Hey, I'm proud of you. Hey, I noticed that you did something. I mean, you might not think about it, but when they come up on your list, you go, oh, wow, that person just ranked up. I need to send them a congratulations on that. Right? Or that person just sold their very first thing. How cool is that? Congratulations. It feels awesome, doesn't it? Okay? Or you always go back to the, man, your lashes are crazy. That's so good. Good for you. All right. So connect with your consultants. Don't neglect that. That's why we call it Teamzy. So you've done it now. Prospects, customers, consultants. Our goal in this case was 20. It was 10 plus 6 plus 4. That's 20. That would take, if you're slow and new at Teamzy, that would take you 30 minutes. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go do our follow-ups list. Oh, wait, but there's nobody on our follow-ups list. So how does this work? This is what happens when we invite people. We put them on our follow-ups list. So let me show you how this works. So I messaged Jay at the beginning of the call. She responds, oh my gosh, great to hear from you. How are you? It's been so long. And we catch up. So we're just having a conversation. My goal when I'm having a conversation is to help that person in some way. So I'm asking questions so I can uncover a need that I can fill. I'm hoping that maybe I can fill it with the business, but maybe not. Maybe they just need a dentist recommendation. Maybe they need someone to pray with them. You know what's crazy? I have to tell you guys that like 3 times a week, I get a prayer request from people. Just being there for people is so huge, and they don't have people there for them. And that does equate to business over time. But you focus on the person first. How can I help them? So I'm talking to Jay, we're catching up, asking questions, finding out what's going on. And then at some point in the conversation, usually they'll say something like, well, what about you? What are you up to? What's going on with you? How's that business thing going? Oh, it's going great. And we're talking about it. Now I know exactly what part of my business to talk about because Jay has told me in the conversation everything she needs. She needs to get away from her jerk boss. She needs to be with her kids more. She needs to, right? And so I'm talking about things like, you know what I love? Being my own boss. It's so cool. And being with my kids every day is the best. Oh my gosh, that's what I need, she says. You know what I'm talking about? So this is where I'm going to invite her. Listen, Jay, you should take a look at what I'm doing. You'd probably be a great fit for it. We're actually doing an opportunity call event tonight. We're doing it live on Facebook. You can tune in and just get a ton of information if you'd like to. And then what I can do is just follow up tomorrow and see what questions you have. How's that sound? She's like, oh my gosh, that'd be great. Perfect. This is how a conversation turns to an invite. You see where I'm going with this, guys? So now I say, Jay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you an email right now with that link so that you can jump onto the thing. Look for it right now. I'm sending it right now. This is what I do, by the way, guys. I do use email, but I do it when I'm talking to somebody somewhere else and saying, I'm sending you an email right now with something important. You need to grab it. So they will, okay? So I'm sending it to you right now. I'm sending you that link. I'll check in with you tomorrow and see what questions you have. She's perfect. So how do I do that in Teamzy? So Jay's no longer on my dashboard. So I'm going to look her up in the lookup bar. Okay, that brings up her record. Now what I'll do is I'll click this blue connect so I can log this invite. Now one of the things I'm going to do is notice right here where it says invite on the bottom left. I'm going to change this from the default, which is connect, and I'm going to put it onto this opportunity call. Right? Because it's an invite to an opportunity call. Boom. Great. And I send her an email, and I'll just put a little note here. Now, if you have the email, you can paste the email in there too if you want. Doesn't matter. All right, so now I'm going to send this, but before I log this, guys, and now this is going to log as an invite on my dashboard, so I'm going to get one of my invites done for the day. Before I send this, she's a 5-star, which means she's coming back on my dashboard in 30 days. When did I say to follow up with her? Tomorrow. So see where it says follow up? I need to click that and set the follow up for tomorrow. With me? Now when I log this connect, it's put a follow up on her record, which means on my dashboard, she's now on my follow-ups list. So I cannot screw this up. She cannot fall through the cracks. Does that make sense? Now, I'm going to show you how easy it is to log a follow-up, and then I'm going to teach you real quick. I know I've been talking a long time. Hang with me, guys. I'm going to teach you real quick how to follow up like a pro without being annoying. Anyone game for that? Yes? Okay, so here's how we do a follow-up. So when I'm doing my power, I do my prospects, my customers, my consultants, then I work my follow-ups list. When I'm working down my list, I get to J, and I'm going to go the same thing. I'm going to grab my scripts. I'm going to go to Facebook, and I'm going to look for a follow-up script. There it is, follow-up number 1. By the way, there's 10 follow-up scripts in here. So you can just go down the list. Here it is, number 1. Hi, Jane, just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me? I'll copy that script. Okay, boom. We'll do it the exact same way as a regular connect. Change the name. Okay. Put emoticons on it if you want to. What am I doing here? J. See, look, Emily's already messaging me back, but I'm going to be disciplined and not answer until we're done. Now I'm sending the follow-up to Jay. Boom, there it is. Bam, sent. Okay? Now I'm going to finish logging it in Teamzy. But before I do that, before I log this, you guys, very important, pay attention. I got to set the next follow-up. Or she falls off my list. I got to put her back on my follow-ups list for next time. So I'm going to set her again for tomorrow. And then I log that. Now she's on my list again for tomorrow. Okay. I'm going to keep putting her on my follow-ups list until she converts. Or until I followed up like 10 times, and then I'll let her flow back into the Teamzy flow, okay, if she hasn't converted. But let me explain something to you guys. This is important. The fortune's in the follow-up, right? You guys have all heard that. Have you guys heard this statistic? 80% of all sales happen between the 7th and the 10th follow-up. Hello? Yes? 80%. 80% of all sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-up. How many of you guys follow up 7 to 10 times? I only see a couple hands because a lot of you guys are hiding out. Most of you guys are following up 3 times, maybe, which means you're all scuttling around for 20% of all the possible business. Do you wonder why there's only a few people why there's so few people that are wildly successful? Now, here's the thing. I know why you don't follow up 10 times. I know that you are terrified of being annoying and being what I call Ned Ryerson. I don't know if you guys remember that movie Groundhog Day, but Ned Ryerson was the annoying insurance salesman that followed him around every single day, and he would cross the street to avoid. I know you guys don't want to be that person, and that's why you're not following up, but I need you guys to understand this. 80% of all sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-up. I'm going to show you how to not be annoying and do it, okay? It's really simple. But first, you need a mindset shift. Do you believe you can change people's lives with your products and your business opportunities? Let's put your hands. Yeah. If you do believe that, the only way you can do it is if they purchase, right? Do you have a secret method? No. Which means the only way for them to purchase is if you follow up. So here's what I want you guys to understand. If you really want to help people, the only way you can do it, the only tool you have is the follow-up. So following up is an act of love. Following up is an act of love. Write that down, put a little sticky note, put it in the corner of your computer screen. Following up is an act of love. Not following up communicates this. I don't care enough about you to follow up with you. I don't care enough about your transformation or your life changing to follow up with you. And you guys have to confront that truth when you decide to let somebody go after 3 follow-ups because they haven't responded. Now, I'm going to teach you right now how to follow up without being annoying. And I'm going to explain to you why the vast majority of people who are enthusiastic and like you and respect you still won't respond to the first 5 follow-ups. It's psychological. I'm going to explain it to you. But first, I'm going to teach you how to follow up without being annoying. You ready? 2 principles. First of all, you don't even need to know these principles. If you use Teamzy and just use my 10 scripts, they already follow these principles. You don't have to think. But these are the 2 principles. The first principle of never being annoying when you follow up is this. Don't ask them to do anything in your follow-up. Don't ask them to do anything in your follow-up. Don't ask them to call you back. That's super annoying. Don't ask them to text you back. Don't ask them to RSVP. Don't ask them to do anything in the follow-up, period. Okay? Because they don't want to respond anyway. So if you've given them an action step, they just feel guilty about it, and that's annoying. The second thing is this. Your follow-up needs to be in written format. In other words, no voicemails or voice messages. They need to be able to read it, and it needs to be short enough that they can read it without opening it. They need to read it on the lock screen of their phone without opening it. Some of you guys are shocked by these things. This is why. They're not going to respond, and they don't want you to know they've seen it because they don't want to feel like a jerk for not responding. You guys do it all the time. But you want them to see it. Your goal is just for them to see the message. Okay? You guys got those 2 principles? Don't ask them to do anything. Put it in writing so they can see it on the lock screen of the phone without opening the message. Now, let me explain to you. Now, I already showed you how to do it in Teamzy. You just go in, follow up list, boom, next follow up on the list, send it, boom, log it, set the next follow up, go down your list. Let me explain to you why this works so effectively. Here's what happens. The subconscious mind, right, which you guys know what that is, that runs 85% of everything you do in your life comes from your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is there. It's part of the design to keep you from being overwhelmed by this crazy world. Our subconscious mind actually fools us into thinking that everything is ordered and calm and has a routine to it when the world is really kind of a random, chaotic place. It's there to keep us safe and to give us a sense of purpose. And it helped. How many of you guys have ever driven home from somewhere, pulled into your driveway, and have honestly no recollection of driving home? Has that ever happened to you? That is your subconscious mind. It can do things for you that you don't even know are happening. Isn't that crazy? Like, how did you stop at stoplights? It's nuts. It just took over. It's like automatic pilot. And that subconscious mind is there to protect you from all dangers. So what happens when I'm talking to Jay about this business opportunity? She's like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Really? You've been home for 2 years with your kids? I want to do that. Oh my God, this is going to be great. And what, you're going to coach me? You're going to mentor me? Oh, I'm so excited. Great. And the next day when I send her that message, hey, what questions do you have for me? Crickets. Why do I get crickets? She was so excited. This is why. Jay gets my message and she sees it and she goes, oh yeah, that's right. And for a split second, she remembers how hopeful and excited she was. Then what happens? Her subconscious mind goes, over here, distract you. I'm going to distract you from this to protect you. And she goes, oh my gosh, the baby just threw up on the dog. And she puts her phone down. I'll have to deal with him later. And she goes and takes care of the problem. Next day, I message her again. She sees it. Oh yeah, there's Eric. Oh yeah, I got to respond to him. Oh, but I can't right now because I got to make the kids dinner. And if I don't do it now, they're off their routine. So I'll take care of that later. Every day something will happen that's legitimate in her mind, that distracts her. And it's her subconscious protecting her. Guys, this happens to everybody. It probably happened to you guys too when you were being pursued to help yourself with this opportunity, right? And here's what happens. Here's what we do. Because when you get silence, people fill the silence in with imaginary conversation. Do you guys do that? So now I followed up 3 times with Jay. Jay, by the way, is excited about this opportunity. And she loves me and she respects me. But this is what I think. A jerk. I can't believe she's not even responding to me. I thought we were friends. I guess I was wrong. Right? Maybe it's a money thing. Maybe she's just broke. She's probably just broke. I've heard that her husband's kind of an overbearing jerk. That's probably what it is. And then what happens? You get on a call with your upline. They're like, well, whatever happened with that J lead? I don't know. She's a flake. Guys, that's an imaginary conversation. Then none of that's true. Some of you right now are thinking about people that you need to go follow up with again. Aren't you? All right, just use connect script number 2 in Teamzy and go reconnect with those people. No big deal. But here's what's really happening. It's that subconscious mind. Now, why does it change at between 7 and 10? Here's why. Every time you send one of those short positive messages like I've taught you, not annoying, they smile, they have a little burst of dopamine associated with your name, their subconscious mind starts relaxing and thinks, okay, this isn't a scary thing. It seems fine. And then about 5 or 6 times in is when she goes, boom, I'm so sorry. I haven't responded. Thank you so much. And you get the thank you and it blows your mind because you're like, I haven't heard a word for weeks. Thank you so much for following up with me. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you being, staying on it. It means the world to me. And the reason why I haven't responded is because my life's been so crazy. And then she tells you all the little things that came up. This happens every time. And you're blown away. Guys, but you won't even get that message till 5 or 6 times in. That'll be your first response sometimes. Some people may respond a little sooner, but it will still be a put-off response. Like, I haven't looked at it yet. Thanks, I'll let you know, right? So just keep after it. Love people through it. Just understand that this is the way we're all wired. And if you're going to help people, you have to love them through that process. That is why 80% of all sales on planet Earth happen between 7 and 10 follow-ups. Is that crazy? Just keep after it, you guys. All right, so that's how you follow up with a pro without being annoying. There's 10 follow-up scripts in there. Just use them. Okay. Here's how I finish off Jay in the system when she has joined the team. She's become a consultant because of my amazing follow-ups. I'll look her up here to bring up her record. There she goes. I'm going to log the sale by clicking sale. I just want to put that she got her enrollment kit. Great. Save that. Boom. Now I'm going to move her member type from prospect to consultant by clicking right there. Personally sponsored. Bam. So now I've moved her from the prospects list over to my consultants list. That's where she'll show up next time she comes up on my list. Make sense? Okay, now there's a lot of stuff in Teamzy I didn't show you guys, but I wanted you guys to understand this part because this is the engine room. This is what's going to drive your business. When you guys are starting out, you're going to be making connects with prospects, customers, and consultants. You'll be connecting with people, starting great conversations. It will take you, as I mentioned, a couple weeks probably before you start getting a lot of invite opportunities. But once you've got that pipeline filled, power hour is going to look like this. It's going to be like 30 minutes doing outgoing connects and 30 minutes doing your follow-ups. Make sense? Okay. If you guys have questions, well, here's what I want you to do. Just unmute and ask, and I'll answer questions for a few minutes. Was that helpful? Even for you guys who've been using it? Okay. How many of you guys feel like, wow, I want to go do my power hour over today? Okay, great. Who's got questions? Anyone? You guys are pros. Okay, well, go ahead, Emily.
So if you are sending somebody a personal message, just a random connect, just to make them smile, and they don't respond to that, do you just send them another random connect, like just another like, hey, was thinking about you today, or saw this funny quote? Sorry, I know you can hear my screaming children in the background.
It's okay, I can hear mine too. You know what? Here's the thing. Like, if they don't respond, just let them flow back and just come. Well, they'll come back on Teamzy. When they come back on Teamzy, then message them again. Okay. Okay. So let me tell you guys a story, which is great. So when I was doing this, I had everyone that I knew was real estate people. It's funny that you say your husband's a real estate broker. So everyone I knew were real estate people. So they were from all over the country because I knew people everywhere. So there was this guy, Mike. He was from Alabama, and I knew him from my previous career, and I would message him, hey, Mike. Now, I don't think this was a guy, I don't think he was a big Facebook guy, but that's all I had. So I'd send him a Facebook message. I sent him the scripts. He was a 3-star, so he'd come up every 3 months. So I sent him the script. Hey, hope you're having an awesome day. 3 months later, it comes up again. So I send him the next one. Hey, it's been a while since I checked in. I hope you're having an awesome day. Nothing. 3 months later, so now it's 9 months. I mean, I figure like this. I don't care if he's not responding. I'm going to send him the message. It takes me a second, right? He can unfriend me if he doesn't like these friendly messages. So I send him another one, nothing. And then about a week later, so it's now 9 months, 3 messages, no response. A week later, out of the blue, I get a message from him. And remember, I was a Beachbody coach at the time. So he says, hey, Eric, hey, thanks for reaching out. Sorry I didn't respond, but I've been watching you. I've been watching your process, and I think I'm ready to get involved. And then he told me what he wanted to purchase. He told me what program he wanted to purchase, what supplements he wanted to purchase, and that he wanted to come in as a distributor on my team. And could I send him my link? And I was like, okay, dude, sure. Now, he was a very successful real estate investor. He wasn't looking to become a builder in the business, but he understood it was a better deal, it was a better value. And he thought, I'll probably do a little bit of referring. So, real estate people, they know about referral fees. Okay. So anyways, my point is, don't take someone off your list because they're not responding. I've already given you guys enough training on the fact that people don't respond. There's reasons for it that are not, that aren't bad. So just keep after it. But I mean, that was like the most extreme example of somebody who, like literally just, and I think it was just what I needed to hit that next qualification that month too, which is so cool. And I'll tell you another story. On the other end, I had somebody not respond for a while. And then he said, Eric, I'm unfriending you. He said, when you were the real estate expert, your posts were very relevant to me. But now that you're doing this health and fitness stuff, it's really not relevant to my life. So I'm going to unfriend you. And I said, okay, no problem. First of all, I was pissed. I was offended, right? I'm just being honest, weren't you guys? But then I said, you know what? No problem. I totally understand. Hey, could you do me a favor? Do you know anybody do you know anybody who might need help losing some weight or getting healthier? Is there anyone that you know like that? He goes, well, yeah. And I said, great. Okay, cool. Well, before you unfriend me, would you do me a favor? Could you connect me with a few people who maybe I could help? And you know what he did? He gave me 3 referrals before he unfriended me. I was like, unfriend me all day long, dude. That was great. And we ended up becoming friends again down the road on Facebook. But I just had to tell you that story because it's like, you got to go from, you can't take stuff personally. You have to understand that most people are skeptical and guarded because people have violated the trust relationship with them in the past. And so you need to come from the standpoint of, I'm here to help you and I'm here to build trust and put deposits in the trust account with you. And I understand that you're like that. You know what I mean? It's like you're bringing a stray dog in and you got to get them back to being nice again and just like go with it. Does that make sense? Okay. Way more than you needed, Emily, for your questions. That's me. I'm like a preacher. You scratch me, you get a sermon. Does anyone else have questions?
So, Eric, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, so just wondered, I love Teamzy. Thank you so much. And this is Brenda. Wanted to know if you plan to do a Teamzy app. Sometimes I totally work from my phone all the time, and it's just hard to go back and forth from the Teamzy website to my contacts, and wondering if you are going to create an app.
Yeah. So you've been using the mobile website on your phone?
Yes.
Yeah. We are planning on doing an app. We are planning on doing one. It probably won't be until the end of this year before it's ready, though.
Gotcha.
So for those of you guys who have never seen the mobile site, I'll show it to you really quick. I've got my phone plugged in here.
And I'll say the mobile site's great. I mean, it's great.
Okay, so here's my phone coming up. Okay. Hold on, this new phone, it's kind of annoying because if it's not looking right at me, the Face ID doesn't work. Okay. For those of you guys thinking of getting the iPhone X, it's kind of annoying. Just telling you, go for the 8. Okay, so here's Teamzy right here on my dashboard. I've got it saved. It takes me right to the website. All right, so there's my Teamzy account ready to go. So it's mobile. I can do everything mobile. I can add a new person. Boom, if I'm meeting them. I can look people up in the lookup bar. I can do my power hour. Okay, it's all there. It's pretty cool. Now, what you do is you just toggle your phone. Like if I had this is actually controls my cool light. I have lights that are on Wi-Fi. Isn't that cool? My light bulbs are on Wi-Fi. I can change the color scheme for these presentations. So cool. But anyways, so if this was Facebook Messenger, you would just toggle back and forth between it and Teamzy. Do your work. So cool. Okay. And don't make fun of me for my Wi-Fi lights. It was forced on me by my marketing guy because he said that my office was too boring. All right, so that's the mobile site. So thank you, Brenda, for that question. We are planning an app. The app it's actually more work to build an app than it was to do the whole site. So we've got a couple other things coming down the pike first that we're doing to improve it so that we kind of get everything the way we want it, and then we'll do the app to build it out for it, if that makes sense. Any other questions, guys? Okay.
I have a question.
Oh, hi.
So when somebody tells you no when you bring up the business, do you want to invite them? They say no. How do you log that on a follow-up? Do you just let it roll back into Teamzy? How do you rank them? Like, what do you do on a no?
Yeah, what I would do on a no is I would not set a follow-up with them. I would just let them roll back into Teamzy. And the next time they come up, I would just say hello again. Hey, it's been a while since I checked in. How are you? What's going on? Okay? Because how many of you guys said no? Right?
3 years. 3 years. No.
So that's what I'm saying. So don't throw them away because they said no. Like that's the whole go for no thing is you throw them away when they say no. It's like, cool. You should say no. Do you know how many times my wife said no to going out with me? I mean, a lot. So that's my philosophy. It is like, I use the dating analogy a lot because partnering with somebody in this business is like marriage. Not as deep as marriage, but I mean, it is a relationship like that. You wouldn't walk up to somebody and propose marriage Even if you'd known them for a long time. Hey, I've known you for a while. Remember we went to high school together? We've been Facebook friends now for 10 years. Would you like to marry me? That's what it's like. So what I would do is say, you know, like, wow, you know, here's somebody that I'm interested in knowing more. So hi, let's start with hi. How are you? What have you been up to? Let's catch up. Okay, you with me? No, I'm not interested, Eric. Oh, that's cool. I'm just saying hi. No big deal. I'll connect with you another time down the road. Hey, it's been a while. How are you? Right? This guy's persistent. Maybe I should talk to him. You get the idea.
Do you change their ranking on the stars if they've said no, or do you leave them as is?
I wouldn't necessarily change the ranking. If you had them ranked as a 5-star, maybe I would. Most people on your list will probably be 3 stars. That's going to be, unless you have a really small list, but most people on your list will probably live at the 3-star level because they're just people you know, and that relationship needs some time to kind of warm up. But sometimes you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised at who jumps when you connect with them. One of the things that I think you guys will be most surprised about are people that you didn't even want to message that had a positive response to your message. It blows your mind all the time. And if you're active on social and doing things you're supposed to be doing, sharing your story, you'll be surprised how many people already are fully aware of what you're doing. Make sense? All right. Any other questions before I send you off? Okay, so we've recorded this call. You guys will have this recording. Emily, I'll get it to you probably tomorrow morning. So you can post it for these guys to go back and replay it.
Well, I just want to thank you so much for this. This has meant a lot to me and a lot to all of them. They have been so fired up since we started that Teamzy challenge. And I know there are a couple of people on here who didn't even use it. So I'm super excited. And this has really helped my business. And I know it has helped theirs as well. So I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me tonight. I was excited to talk to you guys when I started hearing about these people. You know, we started getting help desk tickets that were like, help me, I'm at 99%. I need to get to 100%. So I was like, what are you guys doing? Find out what they're doing. So I didn't see what he said. He probably spent it.
It cost me a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, it's an investment. You got to look at the value, not the cost.
Absolutely.
And a tax write-off. You need those too.
For sure.
So anyways, thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Have a great night. God bless you. We'll talk to you soon.
God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure thing.